So what would a political upset mean for France, for Europe, for the rest of the world? Joining me tonight to discuss all this is Etienne Soula, a research analyst at the Alliance for Securing Democracy, based in Brussels, originally from France. He also recently helped ASD launch their 2022 French election tracker. Etienne, I bet the traffic on your website is going up through the roof. In just about, let's say, 1 minute, can you explain who Marine Le Pen is and what she stands for?
Thank you for having me. So Marine Le Pen hails from an ultranationalist far-right party that used to be run by her father, Jean-Marie Le Pen. And she has now spent years trying to normalize the party by firing its most fringe and extreme elements and by trying to modulate the most extreme ideas to make them more acceptable to a broader section of the electorate.
My understanding is she does not particularly love immigration, that she's okay with Vladimir Putin. Economic populism seems to be a big theme this year. Does all that sound about right? Kind of a populist person.
I think that's an accurate assessment. When it comes to immigration, that's like the historical main running theme of the party, this anti-immigration stance. She has tried to, again, make it a bit more palatable, and there are other far-right candidates in this year's election that are even more extreme than her, which have helped her sound more reasonable in the current debates.
I've heard a lot of comparisons between 2016 here, Hillary and Trump. In this case, Marine Le Pen would be Trump, Macron would be Hillary. Is that apt?
I think the comparison with Trump and Le Pen is quite apt. I would argue that her foreign policy stance may be even more radical than Trump's was. She wants to take France out of NATO. She has a very Eurosceptic positioning, which means that she used to be for a French exit, a Frexit out of the EU. Again, as part of this normalization of her party, she has scaled that back and is now for a European Union of sovereign nations.
From what I can gather, the EU is freaking out that Macron went from comfortably ahead to now maybe 3 points ahead, and it shrinking quickly. If Marine Le Pen were to win, would it upend the Western system in Europe, the collective action against Putin? Or do you think she might be more of, let's say, a Boris Johnson, you know, unorthodox but not radical in office?
Based off of her program, I think she would be probably more radical than Boris Johnson. She has promoted this non-alignment idea, which in the French context means moving away from the US, where she considers that France is too close to the transatlantic relationship, too integrated to NATO, and moving closer to Russia.
So if I'm hearing you right, for everybody in America who may be on the right and think, I kind of like what she's selling, except the Putin stuff, in her mind, the U.S. is the one that they need to back away from. Like, we're the ones she wants some distance from.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't think that there is that granular of an understanding of the United States in France that people will see that there are very different strands of opinions in the U.S. For, you know, the far right in France, the U.S. is like democracy, liberal democracy, a lot of these values that they don't like. And so if you have a far-right French president, they will be moving away from the U.S. no matter who is at the helm in the White House.
Etienne Soula, a surprisingly open race, as you call it. Well, it's a mad dash to the finish here, and then maybe the runoff, another sprint. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.